We are back here at Keystone and More with another podcast. Before we jump into baseball, hockey, college basketball, and all the works, Nick, you had an exciting trip to Hershey. Let's jump right into it. Nick, how was your trip down to Hershey?
A great trip. It was a nice little over 24 hours there. Had some great food. You'd be surprised. And I attended a Bears game, a minor league hockey team, my first minor league hockey game, and it's an experience. I was doing some baseball earlier in the day, so I was a bit sore, but went to the Bears game. It was a decent experience, and that's the reason you see Coco the Bear on your screen right now, if any of you were wondering. And the Bears, who have kind of made a resurgence, right now they've won 11 straight. We're playing the first place Charlotte Checkers, who at the moment have 71 points. And they were doing 2 home games in Hershey versus the Checkers. It was 2 games at the Giant Center. And Hershey would actually win both. They won today also. And the Bears now have 55 points. They're fifth place in the Atlantic Division. Charlotte's first place in the division still is 71. Not look like they're going to be getting caught anytime soon. But what I would like to really talk about is how the AHL experience is really, it's different from the NHL experience, but there is some positives to it. Okay, obviously the Bears are one of the original, if not the original, AHL team. Created by the man that created chocolate, not chocolate, but he pretty much created chocolate in America. And Milton Hershey, and the Bears are such an important part of the community, and it's a 10,000 seat stadium. There was 9,400 in attendance last night, so almost sold out. And I think it was every ticket was sold out. It's just there was only 9,400 that hit the turnstiles. The AHL still does it the good way. Turnstiles, not tickets sold. But it was, it was actually a very entertaining the way they do it. And, I was looking at the promotional schedule, and, in the NHL, you have bobblehead night. You have all these fun nights because you have the resources to do it. In the AHL, it's so much different. Like last night, I got a voucher for one free large one-topping pizza at Papa John's. And that's a promotional night, Because they have less resources to attend with, those type of things are more common. But it is it's a fun experience. It's a smaller atmosphere. It's a smaller stadium, so it makes it really fun. And you see all these different jerseys. You see Capitals jerseys because that's their major league affiliate. You see the Flyers because they're only an hour and a half away. You see the Pens because they're the winning team in the state of Pennsylvania at the moment. And
That's actually
so,
very debatable, and we'll get into that later.
well, yeah. At the moment, I meant in the last 5 years,
Okay.
the last 10 years. But yeah, you're right. At the moment, the Flyers are doing better. You are right about that. But yeah, the last 5 years. So you see a lot of Crosby jerseys. You see a lot of Lemieux jerseys. But you also see a lot of Ovechkin jerseys. You also see a lot of Giroux and Lindros jerseys. So it's very diverse in terms of jerseys. You even see a few Rangers and Leafs jerseys. There was absolutely zero Hurricanes jerseys because why? If their NHL team doesn't have a good fan base, why would their AHL team have a good fan base? Am I right? But the Giant Center is a very nice stadium that they've built there in Hershey. Pretty brand new, not brand new, but only about 15 years old, which for a smaller town like Hershey is brand new. I mean, their football stadium there, which houses the 6A Pennsylvania High School Championship football championship every year. It's been there since 1936, and that's not really even considered old to them. So but the point is, it's a great experience in Hershey. I don't know how it is in other stadiums in the AHL. I would still really like to go to Lehigh Valley, maybe even Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Millen's told me the Hartford experience isn't half bad. But yeah, I would like to check out a lot of these stadiums, a lot of these cities on here that somehow have AHL teams, and those are probably obviously big things for the community. And yeah, the AHL experience it's a fun experience. Huh?
Yeah, in Connecticut, we have Connecticut's known for their minor league teams, with us with the Wolfpack and the Yard Goats. And we're getting a minor league soccer team coming up next year in
Hey,
Hartford.
don't forget the Bridgeport Sound Tigers.
Well, no one likes the Sound Tigers because the stadium's crap. No offense to all the Bridgeport players. But saying that, it's always fun to go to an AHL because it's more family friendly. I'm not saying MLB and the pros are not fun.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point. If you go to an NHL or MLB game, there's going to be cursing. You
Hmm.
know, you don't notice that at the AHL level. It's very much more family friendly. I saw a lot of like the people sitting next to us had a 2-year-old because you can do that. In Hershey you hear some booing. It's a much more it's considered one of the more intense in quotation mark fan bases, but they still don't like curse or anything. They're still they boo a lot. You'll hear it. but they don't curse. And you're gonna hear that, especially in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, the two other Pennsylvania teams, and DC, where you could also go since it's relatively close. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a much more family-friendly experience.
Yeah, like you said, with in pros you'll get more bobblehead or T-shirt nights, and in the minor leagues, the one thing that I love is like they have special days. So it'll be like maybe Star Wars night, like they have that in the pros, but they have it more so in the minor league system. I know specifically at the Wolfpack they have Star Wars night, Harry Potter night, Halloween night, something that you get to dress up as, and bring a dog to the game night, something that's really fun, and something where you get to walk around the stadium and see everyone like dressed up or something cool. And that's what I really like about minor league games. It's just fun and it's light, something to spend your Friday afternoon, Friday evenings, or even Saturday afternoons doing.
Yeah, and I agree. And like the thing is, like the whole thing about the minor league, like they have those type of events in the major league with those Star Wars and anything, but they don't emphasize them as much. They're not as big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
But like you'll see these things here. Just looking at right now, like they had this one night where the Bears had a Capitals night. So they wore Capitals jerseys and they had the cup in attendance,
Mm-hmm.
and they had the teddy bear toss night, and they have the night where you buy the player's jersey night, and like actual jersey that they just wore, like trick or treat night,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it's a much more it's actually, you could argue that their promotional nights are actually more fun.
Yeah, no, it is, and then you can get like prizes and stuff, during the intermissions or during the innings. It's much better. I find it more fun to watch, like a race during a minor league game than like in MLB games. It's more serious in MLB. Not saying it's less fun. It is fun going to MLB games, but it's always fun, family friendly, and fun to watch at minor league games.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fun atmosphere nonetheless, and I mean I'll check it out. I mean, I have family out there, so I got to see them, and I want to go back in the summer because there is Harrisburg. They have a minor league baseball team. It's a AA team for the Washington Nationals, and there's the Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania that runs down central Pennsylvania, and there's a little island in the Susquehanna River, very small. It's very small, and they built their ballpark on that island back in the early '80s, and so the Harrisburg Senators play on City Island. And I would just like to check it because that's such a different experience. That's so unique. No major league team would do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
So I mean, it sounded like your trip went well. Did you go to Hershey Park at all?
No, man. It's closed.
That's closed. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's outside and it's winter, so that seems like a fun trip. Something that I probably will do. We're getting counting down the days soon. A little less than 10 days before the Stadium Series. I still haven't had a definite answer on whether I can go. I'm assuming it's a yes. Hopefully it is a yes. But now as we move on to the more bulk of our podcast, more of the pro sports, what do you want to talk about first? And because we got a lot of stuff to cover.
You know what? Let's cover what I think is the shortest topic, and that would be the MLB.
Yep.
Because you said you wanted to cover that today.
I did. So you're gonna laugh at what I'm about to say here. I bet anyone who's listening is gonna laugh about what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna back up my points here. I think, as of right now, and I know it's really, really early, things could change. I think the Pirates can make a deep run in this playoff and to make the playoffs. I think they can compete against the Brewers, Cubs, and Cardinals. But what they've done.
No. I need to say something right off the bat. The Pirates are they're a weird team. They always have been. I don't know. There's just something weird about them. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't feel your vibe because the Cubs are, in my opinion, amazing. The Brewers, amazing. The Cardinals, with the addition of Paul Goldschmidt, are going to be really good. And that right off the bat is 60 games? That's 60 games. If you win 40 of them, that's amazing. If you win 30 of them, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that makes it really hard.
Well, here's the thing for me, is that if anyone who knows the Pirates, we know that the best thing to do is watch during the winter seasons. And we've always been disappointed during the winter meetings because the Pirates have never done anything. We've always traded away our best players. We traded away McCutchen, Alvarez. We traded away Garrett Cole. We traded away all of our good players. And that's what our winter season consists of. It's including our trade deadlines. We've always traded away players. We've never done anything. And starting last season, we got a precursor with Chris Archer, which I know people say was a bad deal, but I thought it was pretty good. He's gotten better as the year went on last year. This year, we've gotten so many good players. We got, with Melky Cabrera this year, we got Francisco Liriano, starting pitcher, who's been great in Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh native. These are the additions we need. We need another guy in the rotation, not just Jameson Tyone, but we need another guy because Larry Yano, who's been the guy who pitched in the 2013 wild card where they won, he has experience postseason that can take us down the road if we need be. We have Kella, who's been a great addition from the Rangers with a solid closer. We're probably gonna get rid of what's his name, Josh Harrison. We don't need him because now we got Adam Frazier. It's the young guys that are stepping up, and I think we're actually moving in the right direction. Now, like I said earlier, we're gonna. It's early for me to say that if we're gonna make the playoffs, but we're definitely gonna make a strong run, and I think we can give Chicago, Milwaukee, and even St. Louis a run for their money down the stretch.
Yeah, and you will hear all of our predictions when we make our prediction video, which I think will be in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
Because pitchers and catchers report this week. The Phillies had their big little parade, as I like to call it, to go down to Clearwater. And everybody's kind of starting to all the teams are starting to send their stuff down to their spring trade facilities, and a lot of those pitchers and catchers report this week, and everybody else reports the week after.
Yep.
And okay, here's what I have to say, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, I understand, but people keep talking about the Braves. All you keep hearing about the Braves and the Mets, and how the Braves and the Mets are like this new thing. How the Mets all of a sudden are really gonna be amazing again. I'm like, God, this is why I hate the media. Because the media is so biased towards New York and LA. It pisses me off. Like the Lakers. Oh, the Lakers are the next big thing. Really? I saw the Lakers lose by 25 today to the Sixers. But no one's ever talking about how the Sixers are the new big thing. They just talk about trust the process, you know? And with the Mets, like, okay, what did I hear last year when the Mets started season 10-0? Oh, they're going to go and win the World Series. Did they go win the World Series? No. They didn't even make the playoffs. They weren't even close.
I say, okay,
They were in fourth place.
And with that, I think the Mets could be really. They could have been a really dangerous team, and they've always could have been a really dangerous team. The thing that's holding them down is their injuries. I think with their.
Oh, most definitely. I don't disagree with you. It's just, I mean, to make such a big deal after going 10-0 and then ending the year with, 75 wins? It annoys me.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I get the media, and it's always centered on the big cities with New York, Boston, LA, obviously, and they're gonna give little respect to the little teams, like Philadelphia, Cleveland. But that's just how the media is. You got to make opinions, I guess, for your own good. And we all know it. You could say whatever you want. I could say the Mariners are going to win the World Series, but it's what's going to happen in this series, in the season.
But like Millen, at least Philly gets respect. I feel worse for cities like Pittsburgh, Tampa, Oakland. They get nothing. They don't get shit.
Well, you have to be at least decent to get something. You can't be absolute crap and expect to be the front page of something.
Okay, but look at Cleveland. Look at Cleveland just a few years ago, like maybe 2015, where I think they had maybe 90 wins. They get anything? They didn't get anything. Last time I checked, I don't remember hearing a single thing about them that year. I don't even remember hearing about them when they went to the World Series until they got to the ALCS. Mm-hmm. And Cleveland's not a huge market, but it's something. It's a historic baseball talent.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, But the point is, yes, the Mets and the Braves. The whole thing with the Mets and the Braves. Here's the thing: the Braves. I in the littlest smidge believe in them, but they didn't do anything this offseason. They had an old Josh Donaldson.
Oh yeah.
Barely throw from third to first. He needs a one hop to get from third to first. Like Josh Donaldson's done. Okay, he's done. I don't care if he was injured or whatever. An injury can, it can have lasting effects. So. I don't think Atlanta's the real deal.
No.
I think Washington's the real deal. I think Philly's the real deal. I think Miami's terrible.
Washington's gonna be. They get rid of Harper. I think the team's gonna crumble apart. Now, saying yes because that's their franchise player. That's who they give. When you think of Washington Nationals, yes, I guess you could say Scherzer, but it's mainly Harper, and that's what they're gonna fall.
But okay, the reason you think of Harper is because he's always been there. Like the franchise before Harper was terrible. It was a terrible franchise, and that franchise would be in Montreal if the MLB hadn't screwed the whole league in 1994. But that mostly screwed the Expos and mostly screwed the city of Montreal out of the World Series and a baseball team. But the point is, if Harper's always been there since 2011.
Yeah, 11.
So yes, since all their good years, their superstar has been Bryce Harper. But if Bryce Harper leaves, there's going to be guys to replace him. There's going to be guys that are even better than him. Victor Robles Jr., Juan Soto. These guys are immense, immersed talents that I cannot wait to talk about the JT Roll and Vito trade in just a few seconds because, oh my God, those guys are going to be a part of that conversation. But point is, Juan Soto, Victor Robles Jr., Adam Eaton, these are good, viable players.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, those are good. I mean, those are good players, and they brought in Patrick Corbin, Max Scherzer,
Mm-hmm.
Steven Strasburg. They have one of the best pitching rotations in the whole league.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
They
Yeah.
brought in Brian Dozier, a decent player.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can see where you're going with that. Definitely. But we've seen, and I don't really want to use this example, but we've seen teams like, I'm going to use the Green Bay Packers. We've seen Aaron Rodgers go down and the whole team falls to crap.
Yes, no, totally different example because the Packers have no defense. Their offensive line is terrible. Their only thing they really have is their receivers, and by receivers I mean Devontae
But they've been
Adams.
good for the past couple of years with a healthy Rodgers.
With Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback on the face of the planet. I don't give a shit what you say about Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers has carried this team every second he's on the
And
field.
that's the thing. He goes down, and the whole team goes down. So
Yes,
and
because they don't have anything else. Aaron Rodgers is the Green Bay Packers. Bryce Harper is not the Washington Nationals. The Washington Nationals have a great pitching rotation, aka a baseball defense. They have really good outfield, which you could say is your offensive line. It's
okay.
protecting you.
Well, you have Soto, you have Zimmerman, and now you get rid of
Victor
Harper.
Robles Jr. You are forgetting about Victor Robles Jr., who was the best prospect in the Washington Nationals.
Okay, you bring him up.
He's very good.
Not all prospects are going to be great like Soto and Acuna.
He's good. Robles is good. I'm saying, I think you're really underestimating the Nationals.
I am, and because they've got rid of the lefty, who I'm blanking on right now.
Gio Gonzalez?
Yeah, they got rid of Gonzalez.
You
And
also have Rendon. I totally forgot about Trey Turner, Anthony Rendon.
Okay.
Those are other solid bats.
Jason Worth wants to leave. We know that.
Jason worked out. He's been gone.
Yeah.
He's been gone for a while.
Okay, we get fine. I can see where you're coming from, but Strasburg's injury riddled. We've always known that.
Okay, Strasburg injury riddle. Okay, well, you still have Scherzer, Patrick Corbin, Jeremy Hellickson, Anibal Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
You still have a decent core, and that bullpen is not.
Hellickson's okay. We know Hellickson's not that good.
You got Sean Doolittle, Eric Fede, Joe Ross in that bullpen. It's not a bad bullpen.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from.
Kyle Barklow from the Marlins. I mean, that guy's a good bullpen.
I think it's going to be the young players. I think with teams, I think it will be very interesting to see how the Phillies.
Yeah. The whole thing with the Nationals, I'm not saying the Nationals are the best team in the East. I still think it's the Nationals and the Phillies. I think they both have a shot. I think the Braves have a shot still. I think the Mets have a very, very, very slim shot. I think the Mets have the slimmest of all the shots. I think the Braves maybe around 10%. I think the Phillies at around 45. I think the Phillies around 40. Nationals around 40. I need to re-up this. Phillies at 40. Phillies at 45. Nationals at 45. That gives you 90. The Braves at 8, and the Mets at 2. I mean, that's pretty. I think that's really how it goes. The Marlins 0. Marlins don't have any. No, don't even.
Because they got no one except with the Urias.
I mean, I think that's a good national team that you really underestimate. I mean, they're a good team.
Yeah, but okay, it's fine. We can say they're a good team then, and I'll skip you that. But then it's the DC curse again.
Yes, the DC curse has technically been broken, though. If you don't remember, the Capitals beat the Penguins.
Okay, that's one.
Go to the third round.
Okay.
Beat the Lightning. To go to the fourth round.
That's one team. I don't think.
The curse goes around all sports. The Redskins are still terrible. I mean, that curse still exists. The Redskins are the Redskins. They don't even play in Washington D.C. I'm not counting them.
Okay, so okay.
Banned from playing in D.C.
Okay, let's go. Let's pull out. Let's do a hypothetical right here. Let's say the Nationals do make the playoffs. They win the division, and they will play. Let's say.
Oh, no! Don't even bring it up. They are not winning. I'm saying they're one of the better teams in the East. I'm not saying they're one of the better teams in the NL.
No, I get that. They're one of the better teams in the NL. Let's say they win the division though, as a hypothetical, and let's say Milwaukee wins whatever. They win the North, so because it's LA will win their division. So let's say it's going to be LA.
Whoa! Go back. If the Padres somehow land one of these guys, the Padres are a serious contender. The Rockies are still a very serious contender, and the Diamondbacks are still a very serious contender. And the Giants are not to be counted out, even though the Giants are going through a rebuild. They're still the Giants. They still can do anything. But I really think you're underestimating the Rockies, man. Rockies are something.
Okay, yeah, but okay.
Padres could be something.
There were so many better teams than the Dodgers that could have made the World Series, yet the Dodgers still made the World Series. And it should have been a swept by the Red Sox in the World Series. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm not saying the Dodgers are good. Wait, did I say the Dodgers? No, I said the Rockies are better. The Rockies could be better than the Dodgers. Rockies could win the West.
Okay, let's say
Diamondbacks could also.
let's say the Rockies win the West, okay? Or something, someone good. Or we can say whatever. Then it comes down to a series, a game, best of 5 series. You have Scherzer and if it's
Who are the Nationals playing? Who are the Nationals playing? Just give them the team. I don't care.
let's give it the Cubs because that's two good rotations right there. Cubs, Nationals. Game 1, it'll be Lester, Scherzer, obviously. Game 2, if Strasburg's healthy, Strasburg, and
Okay, whoa! I think Corbin might start game 2 if push comes to shove.
You think so? It depends on the season, though. How the season goes. And
Say Strasburg.
so let's say Strasburg and Kendricks. Because, no, not Kendricks. Quintana.
Okay.
If it depends now. If not Quintana. If Strasburg is healthy, I will give that game to Strasburg. If he's not, if he's gotten injured, I'm giving that game to Quintana.
Okay.
So it's the series tied at 1. Now who do you have? You have Corbin, who's been very shaky the past couple of years.
That's true.
Against a really good against a very good Kyle Hendricks.
Here's the thing: Nationals Park is not a fierce. It's fucking Washington. It's a bunch of transplants. It's not a fierce environment.
Yeah.
But Chicago is a fierce environment. Chicago is one of the fiercest environments in the sport behind New York, behind Boston.
And Kyle Hendricks was undefeated at home last year. So, and he does so much well.
If the game's at Wrigley, the Cubs probably do win. I think freaking David Bodie hits a center field grand slam.
Yeah, like last year.
On Sunday Night Baseball. Oh wait, that actually already happened. No, but no. Yeah, I mean the Cubs could definitely.
I think it depends how you. This depends how the Nationals play their rotation.
I don't know. I still don't know if I don't think the Nationals are the best team, but I think there's something.
They will fine. I will give you that there will be a good 3-way chance between.
They'll be like a good 92-win team or something like that.
Yeah, there'll be a good 3-way chance between arguably the Phillies, Braves, and Nationals. The Phillies, what I'm worried about with you guys is your pitching, because you have.
Oh, no. I think we still have a shot at Keuchel, whatever the hell his name is.
Because he hasn't been signed yet.
Yeah, he hasn't been signed yet. I don't know why they haven't. It doesn't even seem like they made a move on him because they're so focused on the other two, which is not good. They need to be focused on Keuchel also. Keuchel's a very good building piece. He's a lefty.
Yep. So if that's gonna help, now you have Arrieta, Keuchel, and you have Nola. That is strong.
Plus a decent bullpen with Sir Anthony Dominguez and David Robertson, and if you really wanted to, Craig Kimbrell.
That's what I was gonna say. You need Craig Kimbrell because
they already have Sir Anthony Dominguez at the closer spot, a really young, good closer, and you have your setup man in David Robertson.
Yeah, no, that's
the thing. There's not a place for Kimbrell to really fit in.
Wait, who's your closer? Who'd you say your closer was?
You can look him up, Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Okay, say he can always move around. Now, I know you have Robertson as your fireman, as your setup man. You can also have your closer. Closer now. He could be the guy you put in bases loaded with 2 outs. You just need some guy or someone quick that you need, maybe a 5-6 pitcher before you put in.
And here's the problem with the MLB at this point, and it's something that you need a good bullpen because the way the game works now, guys only pitch 5-6 innings, which I think is a shame, but it's the way the game works. I think guys like Nolan Arrieta can still go out there for 7, maybe even 8 innings if needed, but it's a shame because most of these guys can only go out for 5-6 innings. It's a shame, but you need a good bullpen.
Yeah, and bullpen's a real team, and that's why the Steelers, my guy. That's why the Pirates have not been so well. Their bullpen's been very shaky. Because that's where the runs come. It's not always from the starters. It's gonna be from your bullpen.
Have a dominant game, and the bullpen could just blow.
Yeah.
But okay, so I do want to cover the Real Muto trade that happened the other day, and I think the Phillies made out like gangbusters. I mean, it was insane. They traded their number 1 prospect, Sixto Sanchez, who has severe injury issues, is in high A at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think he only made 8 starts last year.
Yeah,
And they got rid of Jorge Alfaro, a very good defensive catcher, but has no bat. Has absolutely no bat. And they're trading for JT Realmuto, who can hit 25 home runs a year for about the 290 average and has a very good arm.
Who was your catcher beforehand?
Jorge Alfaro, the man I just named.
Oh, okay.
He's a very good defensive player. Has one of the strongest arms in the league, but can't bat for anything.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, and honestly, in all trade, I like the catcher you have now. I just don't like his name. I don't know how to pronounce new catcher's name because I'm illiterate. But yeah, no, I like this trade. You got rid of fine. He's a good defensive catcher, but you need a catcher that can hit. That's the main thing you need.
Yeah, I mean, in this, the Phillies lineup right now is loaded. It's insane. And if they can somehow get Machado, which I think they're getting Machado, I honestly think they. Here's the thing.
There's no one else where he can go, honestly.
Yeah, the White Sox offer him $8,250. Apparently, the magic number is $8,270. The Phillies will write a $270 million check in their sleep. Okay, they will do that for nothing. Here's the thing with Harper. Okay, Harper, if you keep him in division, last year he batted for 216.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily want 216, but at the same time, I don't necessarily want a guy that doesn't want to hustle. You play in Philly, you got to hustle. If you don't hustle in Philly, you're getting your ass booed off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And guys that played in Philly will tell you that. You don't hustle, you're going to get your ass booed off the court, field, or ice. Okay? So if he doesn't want to hustle, he's not going to be liked by the fans. That's all I'll tell you. And that opt-out will be probably used.
Yeah.
Harper, he's much more a hustler. He's a blue-collar guy. Much more.
No, and you don't need Harper. You really don't need Harper.
We don't necessarily need Harper.
That's a waste of money.
And he fits. Here's the thing. Harper's a pussy. Okay. I'm gonna say it. He is. He's like, oh yeah, I don't really want to play in front of those fans. Oh yeah, you want to play in front of DC? A bunch of people who are a bunch of transplants. We're from Virginia, Maryland. Like, come on, really, man?
But he's the one who said that he loves the DC fans.
I don't really know what he means by DC fans. Those don't exist. There's no fans there's not a single person in DC that gives two fucks about the Nationals. You know where they care about it? Virginia and Maryland. No one in DC gives a fuck about that team. And when they get bad, no one's driving 40 minutes to go see it play. In Philly, everybody in the actual city and in the suburbs and in Jersey and in Delaware gives a fuck about that. South Jersey, not North Jersey. Gives a shit about that team. People go and they go watch that team. They care about that team. Harper, he will. I don't know what Harper's thing is, but apparently he doesn't like fans that actually go to the games. Apparently that's not his mojo. I don't know what's up with that, but apparently that's not his mojo. They were still averaging 30,000 fans a game when they were terrible. When they were losing 110 games a year, they were still averaging 30,000 a game. If the Nationals were losing 110 games, they might get 10 fans. Might. I mean, it's just a joke, this whole thing about hating the fans, about hating the city. Dude, there are some of the nicest areas in the country in the city. Rittenhouse Square, which I've told you about before, is a beautiful area. It's all wealthy. He could live there. It's all wealthy. All beautiful restaurants. All beautiful museums. Beautiful houses. Or go live out in the suburbs on the main line in $1 million mansions. I don't know. Apparently he's against it.
Now, here's the thing. Like, I'm not opposed to, like, living, because he's going to find a place to live. It's just the use that you're going to need. You have McCutchen. You have other guys.
We'll find a place for Harper. McCutchen can play in the outfield.
He can't play anywhere else.
Yeah, I know. McCutchen's probably going to play in left. Odubel will play in center, and Harper will play in right. Harper is not playing in center anywhere, so he better not think he's not playing first base anywhere either. So I don't know what this whole.
Nah, he won't play first base. You have a good first baseman.
He's like, oh yeah, I want to play first. Like, what the fuck, dude? You're not playing first base anywhere. You're not playing center field anywhere. Because the Phillies get Mike Trout in 2 years, you're definitely not playing center field.
No.
By the way, Mike Trout was at the Sixers game today, so for all you guys,
will you get Mike Trout? No, I don't think so. If you get,
I think we'll get Mike Trout.
I don't think so. I think you get one person. I think you'll get.
He's an Eagles season ticket holder, and he was just at the Sixers game today.
Okay.
And he was wearing a Sixers jersey.
That's not a Phillies jersey.
Doesn't matter. It's a He's a Philly fan. Doesn't matter. He was a Phillies fan growing up. Doesn't matter.
Okay. No, I'll give you that for argument's sake.
So the point is, Harper's not playing center field anywhere. He's not playing first base anywhere.
No.
If he goes back to DC, he's playing right field.
Mm-hmm.
So go and deal with it. Go deal with right field in Citizens Bank Park, where you'll hit 40 home runs, maybe more.
No,
it's
yeah.
a hitter's ballpark. It is one of the best hitter's ballparks in the league.
I know. I give it the best hitter's ballpark. Maybe you could say Fenway.
Coors Field is insane. Coors Field's number one.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
But then it's Citizens Bank. It's a total hitter's ballpark. Why do you think Hoskins hits like 35 dingers a year? He probably won't hit 35 dingers a year if he didn't play at Citizens Bank Park. McCutchen is going to be – I think McCutchen is going to be that guy that everybody forgets, and then he's going to go and have a great year. Like people are underestimating McCutcheon because he hasn't had like a great year. You know why? AT&T Park is a total pitcher's park. It's one of the biggest pitcher's parks in the league, and the Yankees, he was only there for half a year, and he didn't even start most of the games. People are like, he's not going to start 162 games. I don't need him to start 162 games. I'm fine if he starts 110, 100. We got other guys. We got a loaded outfield core.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is, Phillies are fine. I think they're one of the better teams in the league. They're loaded. They got Gene Segura. They got Rhys Hoskins. They got Andrew McCutcheon. They got JT Realmuto. They're probably going to have Manny Machado. They're going to have a great rotation with Aaron Nola, Jake Arrieta, possibly Dallas Kuechly. So I have no problems with it. That's all I have to say about MLB. I have no more to say. I've ranted enough.
Yep. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, for the Pirates, I honestly think they're gonna have a good year with Lariano now with that good lefty. Trevor Williams has pitched great. Archer now he's looking a lot better. I see him pitching great this year. Jameson Tyon, the young stud, and Chad Kuhl was injured, but he's getting better. Young Nick Kingham. You're a young team. I think we're gonna come back, and I think we're gonna be strong in the next couple of years. So definitely as a Pirates fan, I'm excited because in the next couple of years we're gonna look strong. But we're gonna move on. Time's sake, we got a little under 10 minutes. What should we talk about for our final topic?
Want to cover college basketball or the NHL?
Doesn't matter to me.
So I just want to touch on college basketball for a second because yesterday they released the top 16 seeds or whatever. So I just want to touch on that for a second. And Duke beat Virginia yesterday, which was obviously a huge game.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch.
And then I want to talk about the NHL because Flyers are playing the Penguins tomorrow.
Actually?
Here in Philadelphia. Yeah, they're playing tomorrow. And obviously you said you want to talk about the Pens and how they're not really the best team in Pennsylvania at the moment. But I don't think that lasts for too long. So anyway, the one seed that they said were Duke, Tennessee, Virginia, Gonzaga. The two seeds were Michigan, UNC, Kentucky, Michigan State. Three seeds, Marquette, Purdue, Houston, Kansas. Four seeds, Iowa State, Nevada, Wisconsin, and Louisville, which I think is a pretty well first 16. Nova was supposedly the first one out, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see how this. I mean, we still got a couple more. We got a couple more weeks left to go before the tournament starts.
Conference tournaments obviously also.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly move on time because we have now 5 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, so what I'm gonna say, you said the Penguins are probably the better teams. The Penguins have been very inconsistent. Right now, they have to get the crap together if they want to make the playoffs or even have a chance at their playoff spot. I forget where they land right now, but
they are right now in the second wild card spot.
So they were the second in the Metro. Now they're second in the wild card spot. They need to get their act together if they want to make a chance at looking alive in the playoffs.
Yeah, so these two teams play off tomorrow, and about a month ago, you would have said that game means nothing. Penguins will go in there and they will steamroll, and that is still a possibility. But the Flyers now have Carter Hart, who has just rejuvenated this team. Even though Millen's like anti-Carter Hart.
No, I'll give you that. He's looked a lot better for the past couple of games.
He's just rejuvenated the team, and tomorrow night the Penguins with 63 points, the second wild card spot, will take on the Flyers, just 6 points out of the playoff spot, 57 points. About a month ago, they were 16 points out. So they've made a huge revitalization of the team with the new core of GM and coaches. Carter Hart coming up the minor leagues has really rejuvenated them. And Carolina and Buffalo and Pittsburgh are the only teams in their path right now. And obviously you said Pittsburgh looks inconsistent, and Buffalo is starting to take a downturn. Carolina, it looks like the main competition for right now for the 2 seed or the second wild card.
And I knew Buffalo would go down. I mean, we've never seen Buffalo be that good.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen them be good in about 9 years, and I wasn't expecting this to be the year. You got to give them more than just one. Like, they can't just go from being the worst team in the league to being the best. You got to give them a year, and you got to give them a gap year, you know.
Yeah, whether mediocre, no, I'll give you that. Yeah, and I definitely could see if the Penguins keep this streak up, I definitely see them losing in the Stadium Series. I definitely see them losing tomorrow. But when I look at Carter Hart, and I've seen him play a couple times, just watching his highlights, he definitely reminds me of that Matt Murray we saw when he came out of his Wilkes-Barre Scranton, which could be huge for you guys. You have a rejuvenated team that could actually take you far in the postseason, maybe even to the Cup.
Yeah, and that's been the Flyers' weakness for 25, 30 years, ever since Hextall retired, is they've never had good goaltending. It's been like a circus, and it's been the Cleveland quarterbacks of goalies. Like, you went there, you were dying. You were done. Your career was over. And Carter Hart is changing that. He's saying, no, there can be good goalies in Philly. It's not impossible. And you have good goaltending, things change.
Yeah.
Players know that they can allow a goal and they can still win the game.
Mm-hmm.
The fans know if they're losing 1-0, the game's not over. Or if they're up 4-0, they don't have to be on the edge of their seat waiting for the goalie to let up 5 goals. Carter Hart will be there.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, and goalies definitely they jumpstart a team. We saw that with the Penguins first round of the second round against the Senators where they. No, it's not the Senators. Sorry,
It was Eastern Conference.
Eastern Conference Final, Game 3, where Marc-Andre Fleury just completely didn't do well in the Game 3, let up like 3 goals in 2 minutes, and Matt Murray returned to form, went on to win the cup, and that's something you need. And I see that in Connor Hart. I think he's going to be that young talent you guys have, to go win the game. He could be what Steve Mason was in his prime.
I hope he's not what Steve Mason is, if that's his career. Anyway, so point is, the Flyers are a much more rejuvenated team. They look like they could possibly make the playoffs. Penguins are going the opposite direction at the moment, and those two directions are clashing tomorrow night in Philadelphia, 7 o'clock Eastern Time at the Wells Fargo Center on national television.
Oh,
NBC
good.
Sportsnet.
I can watch that. That's good. Yeah, this because of time constraint, we're probably gonna wrap it up here, just because I got a couple things to do. I have to turn in for the night, and I'm sure you got a lot of things to do.
Yes.
I have to come back from Hershey. Definitely, this was a fun podcast. We're going to probably make some more videos coming up. Next week, another podcast definitely coming up. Week ahead, it's unsure.
And might try to make a midweek video on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you then.